Okay, let's just pass with the applause and we'll get right into it. Fellow Rotarians, honored guests. Wow, I sure hope you enjoy these spotlights as much as I enjoy writing them. Yeah, because I really appreciate getting to know more about our fellow Rotarians as opposed to just knowing what they do for a living. This month's spotlight member for the month of May is John Zetlmaier. His classification is financial advising and wealth management. John's what we call an achiever member, he's been a member for less than 3 years. It's very important that we recognize these newer members. They are truly the future of our club. And the few years that he's been with us, John has engaged and involved himself immensely. But first, let's give you a little background. Here he is. John was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His father, Robbie, was a tradesman in construction. His mother, Nancy, a special education teacher. Now, both parents valued education and encouraged John on his path to college. At the age of 2, shortly after his younger brother was born, the Zetlmaiers moved from Milwaukee to Vancouver, Washington, where John grew up. Now, at the time, this is a small town feel to it. And growing up, John played sports. He never really excelled at them, but he attended Fort Vancouver High School. He played in the band. He really didn't like it very much. He was pretty good at the trumpet, but unfortunately, he had the Bobby Knight of band teachers, who was always throwing chairs around and screaming at the kids, and kind of ruined it for everybody. He attended honor classes throughout high school. He was a little shy until his junior and senior year. Then he started to blossom. And baby, he's been blossoming every year since. Growing up in a blue-collar lifestyle taught John to value the work ethic he maintains to this day. Now, scouting was a huge part of his life. Not only does he love the outdoors, but scouting also taught him how to get along with and work with other boys. He earned his Eagle certification, the highest rank that only 5 to 6% of scouts ever achieve. It's an achievement that he's not only proud of, but it propels him to never give up. After graduation from high school, John applied to and got accepted to the University of Washington. He moved into the dorms, and for his first year, and then the most interesting thing happened to John. John turned into the biggest party animal in the world. He was famous, even notorious. His grades suffered, and for the first time in his life, John experienced failure. With that, he made changes. He moved off campus. He dedicated his time to studying each day. He sat in the front of the class, anything that encouraged better study habits. Well, his grades improved. Then he took an economics class, and it spoke to him. He had found his passion, and from then on, he experienced success once again. He graduated in 1997 with a degree in economics and immediately applied to every brokerage firm in Seattle. Wow, the amount of rejection letters was intense. One of his favorites was from Smith Barney. It said something like this: "We don't hire people straight out of school, and frankly, we can offer you no further encouragement." Finally, he got a job with a place called, and this is real, Old Discount Stockbrokers. The job paid $24,000 a year, cold calling 60 to 80 hours a week. He loved the environment. It was the fraternity he never experienced in school. His fellow employees worked very hard as a team, and all showed a great work ethic. They also played hard, too. He lasted 2 years, after which he had gone from $24,000 a year to $30,000 a year. And this was normal and considered successful for the firm. He knew this was not going to work. Not only that, but John hated the idea of commission sales. The top salespeople at the firm weren't the best advisors. They were just the best salesmen. So he bounced around until 2001. He had a lot of opportunities. He had a soul-crushing job at Bank of America. He was also a bartender. He was a financial educator teaching pension classes to state employees. But then he was recruited by Nationwide to sell and service 457B plans, and he did that for 8 years until he finally plateaued out. He decided to get away from sales and move into financial planning, so he became a certified financial planner. Next, he became an independent advisor through a company called ING, and they loved him, and they pushed more and more business his way. And finally, he was able to buy a book of business, and in 2018, Zetlmaier Wealth Management was born, and John opened an office in downtown Seattle. Now, John is not all work and no play. In fact, look at that face. Far from it. In 2018, when he was a well-dressed and fast-talking single man around town, he happened to visit a bar on St. Patrick's Day. He saw this beautiful girl across the room. Determined not to leave the place without at least one phone number, he walked across and introduced himself, telling her she was the prettiest girl in the bar. She told him he had 30 seconds to make her laugh or walk away. He broke into a ridiculous story of a date gone horribly awry, not his fault, but she laughed. So much, in fact, she gave him her phone number. The next date was brunch on Easter. John charmed her once again by ordering rabbit stew. Rule number 1, know your audience. That move could have backfired. You never, ever order bunny on Easter, but he survived. Her name is Megan. And on June 30th, 2010, they were married in beautiful Las Vegas, and in 2012, their son Evan was born. He's now 9 years old. Now, John is a barbecue enthusiast who loves to cook and entertain. If you're smart, and he's much more than the weenie and bun guy you see here, so try and become his friend, and you might get invited over to the next party. He's also very fit. He's completed 7 marathons. He's a big skier and a part-time skateboarder. He really rocks the longboard. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of like the SUV of skateboards. I think you can ride one from here to Los Angeles if you try. He was sponsored into our club by Mark Davis and Robin Grad in 2018. Now, of course, he was attracted by the presentations and the networking opportunities. But the sticking part for John is Boys and Girls Club. He became the chair of Boys and Girls Club and committee in 2019. Boys and Girls Club has stayed open throughout the pandemic, not only helping families with childcare, but also serving as educators. He's so proud to be part of this committee and the great work that they're doing. And to John, Patrick Carter is a hero. It's just one that doesn't wear a cape. He's been on the board of governors for the Washington Athletic Club for 2 years. He's a supporter of CYO. He's coached soccer in Little League. He's a treasurer of his church youth soccer league. He's a member of the Seattle Philanthropic Network. He's even been known to do people's taxes pro bono for United Way of King County. Wow. John's goal is not to be able to retire at 50, but to be self-sufficient at 50, to do whatever he wants. And after years of trying to figure out what will make him happy, freedom is his main goal. And one thing is for certain, John Zetlmaier does not want to stop working. Keeps him young. I like that goal. I like John Zetlmaier. I think you will too. So fellow Rotarians, I give you our May 2020 Rotary Spotlight Member of the Month, John Zetlmaier, Classification, Financial Advising, and Wealth Management. And John has a couple of words he'd like to share with you.
Test. Well, I didn't know I was supposed to say something on this. I thought I was just supposed to sit down, eat lunch, and have John here talk about me. I'm honored. What else can you say to have somebody take the time to write a speech and interview me? And it's just unbelievable, and it really just speaks to Rotary in general and the types of people who you meet here. I had a lot of fun doing this, going through some of these pictures. There's some of the last pictures where I actually had hair. My mom always said that the one thing she would always provide were professional haircuts, and I question that when looking at some of the old pictures. But I'm very appreciative to be up here. I'm happy to be a Rotarian. I'm happier even to be a member of this particular Rotary Club. So thank you, everybody. I look forward to meeting anybody who I don't know already, and enjoy the rest of your lunch.